afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Sarah Slim, and it's time for News Bulletin on Channel 2. President Abdel-Fattah al-Sisi receives today visiting President of Sierra Leone, Julius Maada Bio. Presidential spokesman Mohamed al-Shenawi said that the two presidents are set to discuss enhancing bilateral ties and to hold consultations on regional and continental developments. Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli today sent a greeting cable to President Abdel-Fattah al-Sisi marking Eid al-Fitr or the Lesser Bahrain. The Prime Minister, on behalf of himself and the Cabinet, offers sincere wishes of health and success to the President and good and blessed returns of the occasion to the Arab and Islamic people. Minister of Foreign Affairs and Migration Badr Abdel-Ati stressed that Egypt will continue supporting Lebanon, its government and national institutions against any moves that endanger safety and security of its people. Over a phone conversation with his Lebanese counterpart Youssef Raji, the top diplomat reiterated that the ceasefire in Lebanon should be implemented, adding that Egypt is ready to contribute in the reconstruction of the country. State media said Israeli strikes targeted the coastal Latakia province on Thursday, with the war monitor saying munitions depots in the vicinity of the El Abyad port were hit. Israel has launched hundreds of strikes on military sites and seized the UN patrolled buffer zone inside Syria since former President Bashar al-Assad fled to Moscow in December. Yemen's Houthi rebels said on Saturday that 2 people were killed in overnight airstrikes near Sana'a that they blamed on the United States. Al Masira TV channel reported nearly 20 strikes on Sana'a governorate and other strikes in Sada, the rebels' northern stronghold. The United States launched airstrikes in Yemen since March 15. In response, the Houthis have claimed responsibility for multiple attacks on a U.S. craft carrier of Yemen's coast, as well as projectiles fired at Israel. France pledged €2 billion in military aid to Ukraine as some 30 leaders met with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in Paris to discuss how to assess how they could play a role if a peace deal is struck with Russia. The third summit of what France and Britain have called the Coalition of the Willing brings together British Prime Minister Keir Starmer, NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte, Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk, Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, and Turkish Vice President Zevdet Yilmaz. It is taking place after Zelensky agreed earlier this month to proceed with ceasefire talks to ensure a resumption of U.S. aid and intelligence sharing. At a joint press conference with French President Emmanuel Macron in Paris, Zelensky said sanctions against Russia should remain in place. That's all for now. Stay tuned for the coming updates on the top of the hour. I'm Sarah Slim. Thank you for watching.